Kimya kigi kina mshindo mkuu, wakasema wahega. Ukiona mtu kanyamaza, labda kile ambacho kitatokea ni kitu ambacho hawezi ukabiliana nacho. ODM has been very silent. ODM has not been talking. ODM has gone mute. Raila Amolo Odinga and William Samoei Ruto are not seen together these days. Raila Amolo Odinga is no longer praising William Samoei Ruto, and William Samoei Ruto is no longer praising Raila Amolo Odinga. The only people who have been left defending the government are Duale, Murkomen, Sudi, na wakati mwingine Karen Nyamu na Robert Alai. But Robert Alai tunamwelewa. So what is happening? Because that suspicious silence can tell a lot. They are very cautious. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want us to look at the reason why ODM has become very, very cautious when dealing with William Samoei Ruto. I want us to look at the reason why they are not talking. I want us to look at the reason why they are actually looking at William Samoei Ruto wakitumia darubini. Number one is the mistreatment in the government. These guys sometimes are shoved like kids. These guys have actually met Farouk Kibet. They have met the guys who are actually controlling the instruments of power. Some of them have been seen being thrown sideways, and their bodyguards sometimes actually left wondering. I want you to see what happened to Buddy here, John Buddy, the CS Treasury. Alafu uangalie vile anafanywa na Farouk Kibet, the way he's being shoved like a small boy. Look here, guys. You'll notice that since that video emerged, ODM decided to go mute. ODM decided to keep quiet. Number two, in my view, is because they have realized that they cannot be able to stop the diarrhea by stitching the inners of the chicken. The wind is blowing, and the behind of the chicken has been badly exposed. So what they realized when they came to the government, because they came as experts, just like a doctor would come, a specialist would come, what happened is that they were unable to stop the diarrhea in the government. When I talk of diarrhea, I talk of corruption. When I talk of diarrhea, I talk of the mismanagement of public resources. Because what we have seen the auditor and controller of budget actually exposing the government very, very badly. Number two, Raila refused to accompany William Samoei Ruto in the tour of Mount Kenya. Did you see Raila anywhere? These guys refused. And this is something that maybe William Samoei Ruto did not like. This is something that maybe they thought that what was happening in the mountain was so shameful to the government, and they do not want to be associated with this. And therefore, maybe it is also the UDA is trying to dissociate itself from Raila Amolo Odinga's ODM. But when you look at it, you realize that Raila and Ruto are no longer as close as they used to be. The other thing is that there could be a stalemate in the government. There could be a stalemate when it comes to negotiation. You know, these guys have been negotiating about the appointments of principal secretaries and cabinet secretaries in ambassadorial positions and many other parastatal appointments. Kwa kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema hapa, labda kuna ile hali ya kutoelewana, kuna ile hali ya ati, kuna ile hali nataka hiki. Unajua Waswahili wanasema kila mwabagoma uvutia kwake. Kwa kile ambacho tunaona hapa ni hali ambapo tunaweza kusema kuna hali ambayo hawataki itokee, ijulikane wazi, watu waelewe kwamba kuna jambo ambalo linaendelea. But when look at it, you realize that there is a problem. Number 4, in my view, when I look at it, maybe ODM is planning to bolt out from the government. When you look at these guys, Joho is not speaking, Badi is not speaking, Oparanya is not speaking, nobody. And Raila is not defending the government as he used to defend the government. In fact, the last time we had Raila talking, he was actually criticizing the government. But when you look at what is happening, they have realized that this government is stooping too low. Like, for example, that incident of fighting school students, and maybe they are feeling ashamed. They don't want to be associated with this. They realized that they cannot save William Samoei Ruto. They cannot stop a sinking ship. And there's also the other fact that Raila and ODM have said that they are going to have a presidential candidate in 2027. Na sasa kama watakuwa na mgobeaji wa kiti cha rais ambaye hatujui kama ni Raila ama ni nani ama watamuga mkono nani, it means that they will be opposing William Samoei Ruto. And because they will be opposing William Samoei Ruto, it may become untenable to continue working together. So they could be planning to bolt out. And what do you think could happen if they bolt out from the government? Or do you think this can happen? Because you see, you know, these guys were given lucrative positions. Na kwa sababu zile nyadhifa ambazo wamepewa, kwa mfano the treasury is very lucrative, the energy docket is very lucrative, again hii ya cooperative ya Oparanya very lucrative, the blue economy is also very lucrative. Sasa swali ni je, hao watu wanaweza kuachilia nyama kweli? Wanaweza kuachilia? That's the question. And if Raila was to tell them to bolt out of the government, je, watakubali? That could be the question. And maybe they could have been told by Raila Amolo Odinga to go slow. Go slow, because when you look at the anger that is in the country, it is actually at its boiling point. There is also the former Western Province question. When you look at with the Western Province, it has been supporting, the region has been supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. But since William Samoei Ruto joined the government, look like the Western actually decided to follow a different path. Ukiangalia utaona kuna watu ambao wametokea katika ule mkoa wa magharibi. Utaona kuna mfano George Natembea ametokea pale, Okia Mtata ametokea pale. So it has become very, very difficult for Raila Amolo Odinga to convince the people of the Western. Again, when you look at it, Mudavadi, very busy forming a party secretary, yet he's in government. So the Western question could also be an issue. And you see, William Samoei Ruto is also very much interested with the Western, the Mulebe nation. But when you look at the situation now, because they don't want to come out openly and to be seen like they are competing for the Western part of the province, then the best thing is now to go silent. So when you look at it, again, you see Raila lost his bodyguards, and may God rest his soul in eternal peace. And maybe Raila, because he's mourning, because this was more of a brother than a bodyguard, more of a relative of Jaramogi's family, maybe he's mourning. And this mourning, maybe others are also mourning with him. But from all angles, from all perspectives, it is very, very clear that all is not well in the government. All is not well between ODM and UDA. And again, you realize that watu kama Kimani Ichung'wah siku hizi vile vile wamenyamaza kama maji yaliyo ndani mwa mtungi, wametulia kabisa. What is happening? Could Kimani Ichung'wah also be receiving the kind of treatment that John Badi is seen receiving here? Because when you look at our politics today, one thing that is very, very clear, that those guys who have been in government for long, like Raila, Kalonzo, Nini, look like they have lost the fever with the common mwananchi. It look like the country is yearning for real change. In fact, Gen Z wanataka mtu ambaye hajawahi kuhusika labda na huo uongozi na hajawahi kuwa katika kile kiti cha rais ama naibu wa rais. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but guys, please like the video. Hope you have enjoyed, and let me know where you're watching this video from. Today it is a bit sunny, a beautiful morning. I hope mvua kule ilikuwa imenyesha, kila mtu yu salama salmini. Bye bye.